Welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. I'm John Anthony, filling in for Dan and Amy. Charles Love, the effervescent, greatest reporter Chicago's ever seen.
Oh, come on. Now.
ABC 7, Charles Thomas.
Well, yeah, I had a good time reporting. And I had a good time this morning, man, reporting. You know, the last story, we did, I really enjoyed it because it just ticks me off so much to watch this systemic corruption
Charles,
in Illinois.
Have you been paying attention to Project 2025?
No.
Okay. So what I find funny about it is where it was originally really launched, the BET Awards. Taraji Henson came out.
Okay, yeah. I just didn't know by that name.
Yeah, she had this 1 minute rant about Project 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're trying to do is tie Project 2025 to Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump has his own agenda. If you go on his website, his agenda is Agenda 47. Now,
and that's also an insult to the Heritage Fund.
It really is.
Absolutely, because come on. They've been out back there back in the day. I can remember reading the Heritage Foundation and its policies. And pronouncements.
Yes. Now, on this rant, she was basically just all this misinformation. Nobody challenged it. It was just, and then you just saw the floodgates open. I mean, even the president of the United States. Listen to what he has to say.
Project 2025 will destroy America. Look it up.
No, the speaker. I mean, the Democrat minority leader in the House.
Only citizens can vote for the United States Senate. We embrace having a debate with our extreme MAGA Republican colleagues about issues that matter. Why won't you just take your issues to the American people? Why are you trying to hide your plans that are connected to Trump's Project 2025?
Now,
publicly,
joining us to discuss Project 2025 and more things is Brian Phillips. He's the Chief Communications Officer at the Texas Public Policy Foundation, which I had an opportunity to go down and back in, I believe it was 2015, when Rick Perry was running for governor. He was one of the speakers there. Brian, I mean, I'm sure you've heard all of the misinformation, disinformation about Project 2025. Put it to rest. Is Trump behind Project 2025?
Yeah, we definitely know that it's not whatever the left says it is. So we can definitely start there. What it is Project 2025 is an effort to restore the constitutional role of the federal government. I mean, it's really no more plainer than that, particularly the executive branch. And so Project 2025 is essentially two parts. It's the policies that you referenced, and we've got a book at project2025.org. It's free. It's downloadable. You can go read it. And it's got the policies in there, but it also has examples of how the federal government has repeatedly overstepped and trampled on our constitutional rights. And this is a major issue. It may not be the sexiest issues of the day, but it's something that goes back many decades and it is now deeply affecting and tremendously affecting the American people. And so we've got some policies. It's a 900-page book. I wouldn't recommend necessarily reading it cover to cover.
I read it.
You did?
Yes, I read it.
Well, what I would recommend for your audience is if you're interested in, the IRS issues or the weaponization of DOJ or, eliminating Department of Education, those kinds of things, just start there. It's eminently digestible. We don't talk in think tank speak. We really do explain the issues, particularly the egregious violations by the federal government in those departments and in those agencies. And we go agency by agency, department by department, explaining that, but also the reforms, the things that thankfully a president who could lead on these issues could go in and fix on his own. He wouldn't even need congressional action on this. And so that's the first part. The second part is training up, is developing and vetting individuals who want to work for the federal government, but those not necessarily that are MAGA hat wearing, whatever the characterization that the left has. It's people who understand that their role is to faithfully execute the laws, to not have their own agendas that undermine the current president, and to understand the limits of their authority. I mean, that's really your job, no matter who you work for, no matter what party you represent in the administration. Your job is to understand your role is to faithfully execute the laws that are passed by Congress.
Right.
And Brian, really what the effort is.
And Brian, I think there's a paid operation going on, because I read all 922 pages of the Project 2025. I actually agree with it. I said yesterday on the morning show when I filled in yesterday, I said, if you like bloated government, if you want to continue with a democracy, you're going to be against Project 2025. But if you want to see the constitutional republic restored, you are going to get behind Project 2025, because not only because I want to go through a few things, because Project 2025 on their X account, they did the facts and myths about Project 2025. The first thing they said out the gate was, we are not affiliated with former President Trump. We are a coalition of more than 110 conservative groups advocating policy and personnel recommendations. And here's what they said. And you can ask, I want to just go down a lightning list. The left is saying they want to end no-fault divorce. True or false?
False. It's not even in the book.
Okay,
There's
watch
nothing
it.
like that in the book.
Exactly. Wait. A complete ban on abortions without exceptions.
Again, not in the book.
Okay. Ban contraceptives.
No reference to that in the book.
Additional tax breaks for corporations and the 1%.
Totally misleading. We want tax breaks for every American.
Higher taxes for the working class. False, true or false?
Completely and totally false.
Elimination of unions and worker protections.
Nothing about that in the book. Completely false.
Now watch this. Raise the retirement age. True or false?
Again, we do a Control F search. Nothing in the book. It's 922 pages and nothing about retirement age.
Cut Social Security.
No.
In the Affordable Care Act.
Me personally, I would love
Yeah,
it in
so would I.
Obamacare, but no, it's not in the book.
Raise prescription drug prices.
False. Absolutely false.
Here's one that I'd agree with. Eliminate the Department of Education.
Absolutely 100%. But the areas where the federal government would have a responsibility, the very, very few areas in education, we could put those in other departments and other agencies.
Yeah. Use public taxpayer money for private religious schools.
Well, technically, we're giving money to parents who
That's
then
right.
determine where that money goes. And if they choose to go to a private school or a charter school, it's up to them. But we're not force-feeding taxpayer dollars into private schools.
And I'm doing this for a reason, because I'm going to cut this audio. Trust me. And free and discounted school lunch programs.
False. Nothing like that in the book.
And civil rights and DEI protections in government.
The DEI, mostly false. We certainly are opposed to DEI programs, but not the way that they characterize it.
Right. Ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education.
Absolutely false. Nothing like that in the book.
Yeah. Let's see. Ban books and curriculum about slavery.
No, nothing about banning books, especially books about slavery.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd and ridiculous.
Okay. Oh, here's another one. End marriage equality.
No, absolutely not.
Here was another good one. Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families.
I mean, if it's not the most ridiculous charge against us, it's definitely at the top.
Yeah. Condemning. Come on. Who would really? Use the military to break up domestic protests.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Eliminate federal agencies, and this one I would really love you to, because they completely lied about this. Eliminate federal agencies like the FDA, EPA, NOAA, and more.
Again, we are trying to streamline government. We're trying to make it less bureaucratic. And so a lot of these agencies have totally gotten off their actual mission, the things that they're supposed to be doing to serving the American public. The NOAA is exactly one of those organizations that has been completely overrun by those who are pushing the climate change radicalism. This is an organization that, of course, tracks hurricanes and those kinds of things, which is something the federal government should be doing, but it shouldn't be out there promoting, garbage policy that's not based on science. And so we can take those things that NOAA does and those other organizations like FDA, and we can put them in other departments and other agencies.
Well, the good thing is the Chevron decision actually put the EPA in check, which I'm so happy about.
Absolutely. Yeah, EPA is another one that gets a whole chapter in and of itself, just because of how egregious some of the decisions that it has made that have trampled on our constitutional right.
Yeah. And I forgot about this one. You guys are going to, because this definitely is something Trump wants to do, right? Defund the FBI and Homeland Security.
That one's a little trickier. This one's really personal for me because I was in D.C. whenever 9/11 happened, and so I remember everybody coming together to try and improve the intelligence community to make sure that there was, intel sharing across the various agencies, so something like 9/11 would never happen again. Unfortunately, we have to face the facts. Not only did that not work, but in fact, a lot of folks that will tell you that have worked there, it's actually even worse than it was before 9/11. And so we need to take a long, hard look at particularly the Department of Homeland Security and breaking that up and eliminating that department so that, those various things that we should do to improve our national security, those can be streamlined and made more effective.
Right. I really enjoyed my time down there at the Texas Public Policy Foundation. Is Mark still leading it?
Come on back. No. As a matter of fact, our former head is actually Kevin Roberts, who's now head of the Heritage Foundation. So he left a couple years ago. Yeah, we have a new CEO. But, yeah, man, you're welcome down anytime. Come on down. You don't even need to come down for an event, man. We'll just show you around and have a good time.
Oh, I would love that. But, I just want to put the nail in the coffin as it relates to the connection between Project 2025 and the Trump campaign for president. Where did this originate from? What does the left expect to get out of this?
It's an absolute fabrication by the Biden campaign because they're flailing and their attempts to put Trump in jail have totally failed. And so they're literally throwing everything they can at the wall. We were the first ones. And when we launched the book in last year, in April of last year, we said this is not for any candidate or any campaign. This is for the next conservative president, and it is a resource for them. They can take it or leave it. They can use parts of it or not. You can use the database. You can use the policies. But we feel like any administration, when it gets up and running, this is one of the challenges, is finding the right people to put into the administration to understand the policies that are going to help you govern, and trying to figure that out after you become the president is extremely difficult. And so why not go ahead and spend the next 2 years building that database and building those policies so that they're available for the next president? And that's what we've built. And again, Trump, if Trump wins, he can take it or leave it, but it has never been associated with him or his campaign, and we have said that from the very beginning.
Yeah, and I think the Kamala Harris is the orchestrator behind this because remember she met with Taraji P. Henson. Remember she from the streets.
The streets.
Wait, what'd she say? They ain't like us, and we from the streets and stuff like that. Come on, she met with her at the White House, and then at the BET Awards, Taraji P. Henson because this is what I find. I can't say that word. It makes me really upset that they always use the black community to try to push out messages, especially against white candidates like a Donald Trump, right?
Well, listen, the best thing that could have happened for us is for them to make this egregious error and to highlight Project 2025, because now people are not only becoming aware of this project, but they're becoming aware of the massive problem that we have within the federal government and that we need a sense of urgency to do something about it. And so for folks like you and others around the country who you knew about Project 2025, but maybe a lot of your listeners didn't. Now you do. Now your listeners are talking about it. This is in the media. And so it's not just highlighting what we're working on, but really more importantly, it's highlighting that this is a massive problem in the federal government, and it has to rise to the level of a priority.
Yeah, I particularly love the one where they said that you guys are going to put a ban on Muslims entering the country. These people, they live in La La Land.
It's literally not in the book. We've challenged them so many times. I even think somebody said, go through this list and I'll give you $1,000 for every time you can actually reference something in the book that, based on your claims. We've seen some people really, really doing good to push back on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of pushback from the left and the trolls. And you could tell they're trolls because they only have like 12 friends and no pictures of themselves, and it's their throwaway accounts,
I love it. Embrace the hate.
Exactly. Brian Phillips, Chief Communications Officer at the Texas Public Policy Foundation. Thank you so much for joining Chicago's Morning Answer. And I'm going to take you up on that, coming down to Texas and hanging out with you guys. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Come
on, have some barbecue and tacos.
You got me. I'm there. Say less. Wait, say
Thank you, I
less.
appreciate it.
Charles, I'm telling you, man. I mean, he said barbecue. I mean, especially if they got some hot links, I'm there. They got some hot links, I'm there. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Would you go to court without a lawyer?